So this is my game. Use the right arrow key to move the ball to avoid all the hexagons. And your goal is to go as many seconds as possible. And each second that passes is one more hexagon. So the time and the count of your score is the same, which is in the middle. And you can go on for a while until you die. So the way that my code works, I'll show you the player script first. So I have two variables, the move speed and the movement of the player. So this code here in the update function is basically how the player moves when you press the right arrow key. So then here it says if the right arrow key is down, then it moves, and if it goes up, then the movement is 0. Then here this is how the ball moves around. So it will move around the ball at a certain rate based on the time. And then you multiply that by the movement speed. And then this part of the code will basically say when the ball collides with the hexagons, it will take the active scene and then reload it and build the new index. For the hexagons, it has a rigid body and the shrink speed. So at the start, here it'll have a random angle that it's at. So each hexagon's different. And here the scale of the hexagon will shrink. So the shrink speed is here, and it shrinks at a constant rate. And here, when the scale of the object is at 0.05, that's when the game object is destroyed. So it looks like the game object is just going in and getting infinitely smaller. For the spawner, it's a mix of the spawner of the hexagons as well as the count and the timer. So here at the start, the count and the timer starts at -2 actually, because it gives you time to look at the directions and for the hexagons to come in. And so basically what this does is this sets how often it should spawn. So each hexagon spawns 2 for every second. And then here for the count, it increases constantly every second. And so, but it will only start displaying the count once the count reaches 1, because you get 1 point for each one. So, and then for the directions at the beginning, the directions here, when it just talks about when the count is at a certain rate, it will display this text. But once the count reaches a certain, once it's at 3, then it will be the directions will disappear, so you only get to see it at the beginning, basically. So yeah.